Many thanks for staying with us. Getting back to business today and to my conversation on tourism with Susan Ongalo. She is the CEO of the Kenya Tourism Federation. Susan, even as we continue our discussion, we were discussing regional tourism just before we went on that break. And now let's get back to Kenya. What are the challenges and the policies that need to be looked at again for us to really inject energy once again into a lot of the investors who are coming in, a lot of people who want to, settle down, maybe even if they're coming in as tourists first, they want, there's so many, especially in the coastal region, where resorts and hotels, and they have a lot of infrastructural issues that they keep asking to be solved.
Okay, as we had earlier of the Italian,
yes.
the Italian guest there where they were doing the cuisine, it is clear that we need actually infrastructure and the policies in investment, especially and in tourism. There's too many licenses. Licenses for what? License for this, the other. So it becomes too much. If
it's
we could
tedious.
tedious. If we could only have one encompassed license, we call it, I don't know, tourism business license or something, to make investment easier and business to do business in the country. The other thing we can do is now we have the counties, and you realize each county would like to have their own revenue. They want to do their own business to create their own revenue. And the soft target is tourism, apparently, because they look at a hotel maybe in a reserve or in a place like Nakuru, for example. You find the county wanting to charge a bed levy. Already that resort or that lodge is paying another levy. So it's overtaxing on the tourism industry. And the cost of doing business then goes so high because you realize at the end of the day, all these are loaded onto the traveler, onto the tourist. So the destination then becomes very expensive.
And it becomes unappealing.
And unappealing. And yet we have competitors next door. So if we could look at harmonizing the licenses, the taxes, and the finance bills with the national government, just to make sure that across the country, the licenses are the same, the taxes are the same, and business is being done. Then come to infrastructure. We like accessing some of these tourist attractions that we have.
It's difficult.
It's very difficult. And also the things like water, electricity. There's a time the hoteliers were up in arms because electricity was becoming too high and it was impossible to do business.
Yeah.
So with all that, and then we find policies in tourism are not well-grounded, if I can call it. Yes, we have a Vision 2030, the blueprint, but the pace at which we are working towards it should be hastened, in my view, and we should actually work, all of us, national government and county government, towards that blueprint so that we can achieve together, so that we do not bring down some areas as we're trying to bring up the other areas. But I'll also mention some of the initiatives that we're doing.
All right.
Starting this year, we had a coast tourism working forum to look into the coast area and to actually look into these policies we are talking about, to look at the standards, to look at the investment opportunities, and also the safari circuit. So with those two and working towards a blueprint, the Vision 2030, I think if we follow what we have put in the paper, or what we have put on the paper, if I can call it, if we follow that, then we will streamline the policies, the taxes, then the licenses.
Okay, Susan, thank you so much. Now we really have run out of time this time around. So many thanks for joining us and of course for all your insights.
Thank you very much.
Okay, even as we wrap up, why don't we take a look at our Twitter poll question and of course what you had to say. Do you think the hike in parking fees that has been introduced by Nairobi County is actually going to decongest the city? So let us know what your thoughts are, of course, and we want to share them right now. And you were sharing your views and at KTN News KE, that is our Twitter handle. Once again, do you think the hike in parking fees introduced by Nairobi County will actually decongest the city? And we had Abdul Rahim Hassan saying it has nothing to do with decongesting the city.